Hey everyone, Ashely Gravano, Vice President of Product Solutions here at Mortgage Cadence. Today I'm here with Brent Chandler of FormFree for another great episode of Coffee with Cadence. Hey Brent.
Ashely, hey, how are you? Hey, I really, I love that shirt.
Oh, I think we're matching. I think we're matching on the shirts, and you should have your Coffee with Cadence mug.
Oh, wait, I was just going to have a sip of coffee. Excuse me just a minute.
1 second. All right. So, Coffee with Cadence, for those of you who are new to this, it is our snack size educational series on all things in the mortgage industry. I'm excited to jump right into the questions today. How do you see technology impacting borrowers who've traditionally been underserved or excluded from traditional lending guidelines?
Wow, I think technology is really quite the answer. Whereas manual processes left a lot of people out of the discussion. We're seeing kind of a contrarian approach to the industry today, which is, I'll explain. But we have a rising market, and yet we have less people being able to get loans, and I think it's partially because they're invisible. Wall Street Journal once called a very large percentage, over 50 million Americans, invisible or ghost borrowers, and the reason is that either A, they don't have FICO scores, or their FICO scores are below marks or measures that lenders would look at. Underserved, underbanked in some cases. And so I think what technology does is it opens up a window that appears into these borrowers in different ways. And the pandemic has offered not only a look at using technology to help borrowers across multiple demographics and drop discrimination, and look at pure data and big data. We can actually ascertain and understand a person's ability to pay in different ways than traditional methods of just credit scores. So I think that's a big leap. I think it's a big leap, and it reaches everyone. So common denominator in consumers is that they are the risk factor that lenders need to understand. Common denominator in borrowers is borrowers need to have income and cash flow in order to potentially pay the bills. So we can start to look at other metrics using technology than we once had before.
Yeah, very interesting. So what do you see for the future of credit decisioning for the lenders and the expansion of the credit to the underserved and underbanked?
Yeah, again, great questions. And along the same lines, we've seen in this great crisis, this pandemic, a lot of people have been hurt. A lot of people have been hurt. I mean, too many.
Yeah,
and
it's tough.
The loss of income, the loss of employment, the loss of life, the loss of a lifestyle that we've been accustomed to, businesses, et cetera. I mean, it's tragic on so many levels.
Yeah.
And yet we did nothing to get here. So it happened to us. So we have to deal and adapt. The great financial crisis in 2008, we kind of brought ourselves there with lack of fiduciary responsibilities. And I don't want to get into
right. That's a whole nother conversation, right?
But it truly, we brought it upon ourselves in some degree. Okay. We got ourselves there. In this case, we didn't. So FICO and credit scores and the credit boxes, they have to be managed very, very carefully. And so if that's all we know about a borrower, then it stands to reason that this is the metric that we know and understand and have looked at for the last 50 years. Mm-hmm. It's understandable until, guess what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. It's not traditional norms that we live in. Okay. So lack of payments on bills. People can't pay their bills. They might try to pay their mortgage, but they may not be able to pay all their utility bills and everything on time. What happens? Your FICO changes. Your FICO gets hurt. It goes lower. Or in some cases with forbearance, FICO scores are going up. So there's all these machinations and changes, but what's not changing is my ability to pay. Right. So we think there's opportunities now to introduce new ways of scoring, new ways of looking at the credit box. And instead of tightening it because we're afraid of, because we have lack of visibility, use technology to have greater visibility and increase the credit boxes. Allow banks to include Project Reach is a major initiative that needs to be looked into with technology. We need to be able to reach these people who are no longer able to pay their mortgages, who are no longer able to pay their rents. Technology has the answers.
Yeah. In today's market, with the combination of the pandemic and record low rates, we know technology and automation plays a huge role. How has it helped lenders manage their pipelines? What are your thoughts on that?
Fortunately for lenders, we were on the right side of the crisis this time. And, with respect to helping consumers, lenders play a very big role in keeping people in homes. Housing is very, very important to our economy, to our well-being, to our families, and to the GDP. So the good news is lenders have been able to thrive in this time. As rates have come down, volumes have picked up, such that technology is a welcomed participant in being able to capture this volume and in being able to kind of facilitate throughput and underwriting and timelines, and potentially even being able to look at more loans in less time and close loans in less time. So there's a lot of great stuff going on in the industry. There's a lot of major initiatives going on around blockchain and crypto capabilities, cyber capabilities in terms of security. But moving a borrower through the underwriting process and doing it faster because we understand the data and the risk, man, we can envision a day where we're talking days. And so to manage those pipelines, to be able to have the virtual environments of people coordinating with one another, working together virtually from home, it's extraordinary. It's amazing what we've seen happen in 2020. And I think it's just the beginning. It's opening the opportunity to be even greater in terms of managing those volumes and pipelines and doing it more efficiently. And we're going to see a cross-pollination of loan officers and brokers become loan advisors and different skill sets. It's going to change. It's going to morph.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Tell us a little bit about FormFree before we wrap up today.
FormFree is a company. It's a fintech, financial technology company, but we're basically in the business of helping borrowers get loans. I believe that everybody borrows and everybody has an ability to pay, and it's FormFree's charter to help make that happen in the most efficient, seamless, easy, fun way possible with the best, highest quality data and the most secure infrastructure. So we're embarking on new ways. We have something that's just I think it's gonna blow the lid off lending. It's actually gonna be dropped in an app, and it's gonna be the first of its kind ever in the world. We're going to use facial recognition. We're going to capture financial DNA about the consumer, deep financial identity, and we're going to understand on behalf of that lender that borrower's true risk criteria. And it's going to create intelligence around credit scores. We're going to understand how a 620 could be behaving like a 700 or vice versa. And we're going to be able to really give that information tip of spear in the blockchain.
Awesome. Well, that is great, Brent. We truly appreciate your partnership, and thank you again for joining me to discuss these important topics, pipeline technology, being able to serve the underserved and underbanked. So viewers, be sure to check out our blog at mortgagecadence.com for more from this video series, and follow us on social if you're not already. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for joining.